On the road to Super Bowl 50, the NFL on CBS, coming to you today from Orchard Park, New York. It's the Jets and the Bills. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. The kickoff is next. Weather here at Ralph Wilson Stadium, 35 degrees. We've had some flurries off and on throughout the morning. Currently not snowing. We're moments away from the opening kick. And let's bring in the third member of our crew. Down to the field, Evan Washburn.
Well, and the chief concern of those conditions has to be the wind. See, the field here at Ralph Wilson Stadium actually sits 50 feet below ground level. So that wind gust comes in and then it dives down and it creates a swirling effect. So those flags above the goalpost, those aren't a true gauge of the wind. Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has over 20 career starts on this field, told us there's times when it's really blowing that there's areas of the field you can't even throw to, guys. Something to monitor throughout the day.
Well, no doubt Evan Fitzpatrick has to be experiencing some flashbacks right now. He started 53 games for Buffalo from 2009 to 2012, was a very popular figure here in Western New York. Todd Bowles said a lot of these guys have never been in this situation, so you can't build it up any bigger than it is. He wants them to handle it the same way they've handled it the last 5 weeks, and that's been 5 straight wins. Bills won the toss. They've deferred to the second half. Jordan Gay will kick it off. We're underway in Western New York. Booming kick over the head of Cromartie, and the Jets will have it at the 20-yard line. Ryan Fitzpatrick, what a season he has put together. It's his 105th career start. That's the second most by a quarterback without a playoff appearance since 1970. Archie Manning leads in that category.
And when they asked him about the last time they played back in November, a lot has changed because of the injuries to the Bills. He knows that the strength of this team is lining up with 4 wides against this depleted secondary of the Bills.
And Stephen Ridley is starting at running back here on a 1st and 10 from the 20. Ridley nowhere to run. No gain on the play as Jerry Hughes got him down low. So no Bilal Powell today. Powell, who has been such a huge factor for the team. Chris Ivory will step in on 2nd down. Last week, Powell had 7 carries, 56 yards, 5 catches for 34 yards, but an ankle injury keeping him out of action today against Buffalo. 4 receiver set on a 2nd and 10. The Jets control their own destiny, a win, and they're in the playoffs. Knocked down by Hughes. Low throw, and Hughes was right there waiting for it. Defensively for Buffalo, the numbers have just not been very good for Rex Ryan's unit. This could be Mario Williams' final game as a Bill. They'll make that determination during the offseason. A.J. Tarpley was with the team. He got released by the team, picked up again because of injuries, and he starts. No Nigel Bradham. Defensively, they've been very happy with the development of Ronald Darby, the rookie out of Florida State, a physical, feisty corner. But Darby is not 100%. Suffered a groin injury in the victory over Dallas last week. 3rd and 10. Fitzpatrick out of the pocket, on the move, slings one towards the sideline, and connects with Eric Decker. It's good enough for a 1st down. That was the connection for the game-winning touchdown in overtime against the Patriots last week. 26-20 win for New York.
He was out of bounds, though, and he's first to come back and touch the ball, so this will bring up a 4th down. Watch, Decker's going to go out of bounds on his own and then come back in, catch the ball. The flag has been thrown after a conference between the officials. Once you see the official on the side take his hat off, that signifies that the offensive player had run out of bounds and cannot be the first to touch it coming back in.
Illegal touching, number 87, offense. Receiver went out of bounds, reestablished back in bounds. It was the first to touch the pass. Since the line of game was made, this will be a 5-yard penalty, and we'll replay 3rd down.
So veteran referee Walt Anderson delivering the news, and it's bad news for the Jets. Back it up to the 15. It's a 3rd and 15 for New York.
But it showed you the type of confidence that Fitzpatrick has in Decker and Marshall, even though they're covered with their large physiques and their ability to catch the ball in a crowd. He's going to fire it in there.
Decker is 23 yards away from topping 1,000 yards on the season. 6 penalties per game for the Jets. That's 6th fewest in the NFL. Fitzpatrick and a quick hitter. Marshall out of bounds, well short of a first down, working against Leotis McKelvin. 6-yard pickup. The Jets will punt.
And this will bring up the first punt of the afternoon into the wind for Quigley. And you can just imagine, we've seen punts that have gone in this direction, that have gone up in the air and then come back towards the punter. It's going to be an adventure all day long, especially kicking into the wind as Quigley is now.
Walter Powell, former Jet, is waiting for it at the 38 of Buffalo. Go backpedal a bit, and did not take it through the air. Takes it on the bounce from the 29. Powell finds a lane up the middle and gets hit just short of the 45 by Lattimore on special teams. It's a 50-yard punt and a 15-yard return for Buffalo. So the Bills at 7-8. They have not made the playoffs in 16 straight seasons. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. Tyrod Taylor leads this offense in the first meeting between these two teams. Efficient, 17 of 27, 158 yards,
Mike 52.
and a touchdown for Taylor.
But he was sacked 4 times, and that's a concern for the Bills.
First meeting was on November the 12th at MetLife. Buffalo won it 22-17. They forced 3 Jets turnovers in that game. McCoy had 112 rushing yards. Not playing today. Low throw. That one may have hit the ground. It did for Sammy Watkins. It's incomplete. Starting offense for Buffalo, John Miller was a question mark with an ankle injury. The rookie is in there at right guard for the Bills. Backs and receivers, we mentioned no McCoy. Carlos Williams, we'll see Michael Gillislee as well. Gillislee has been a revelation, former Miami Dolphin. And the last few games, he has really stood out with a couple of long touchdown runs. Taylor knocked down. Getting a piece is Calvin Pace. Pressure from the Jets. Greg Salas.
That was ball, but it was a backwards pass when it was knocked down. The officials did not blow the whistle when the ball hit the ground.
Greg Salas, the intended receiver, another former Jet playing for Rex Ryan.
And it's a play by Salas to get after this ball and not to just let it roll, because he did not hear a whistle, realized it was a backwards pass when Pace knocked it down.
Bills come in number 11 in total offense, and a lot of big plays this season. Surprising that they lead the NFL in touchdowns over 20 yards. Shotgun for Taylor. Airs it out. Taylor looking sideline. Incomplete. Hogan in a matchup with Cromartie. The Bills go 3 and out on Buffalo's opening drive.
Well, Cromartie's got a good argument here. Watch Hogan at the end of this. Ball is well overthrown because it's thrown with the wind at Tyrod Taylor's back. The arm bar there, Cromartie gets away with, but now Hogan grabbing Cromartie as the ball sails beyond both of them.
Colton Schmidt will punt it. Jeremy Curley waiting for it at the 10-yard line for New York. High punt, wobbly kick. Curley catches cleanly right around the 10, and that's where the Jets will have it after the 45-yard punt. We're scoreless. The Jets and the Bills in the opening quarter. Frigid day here in Buffalo. The Jets and the Bills wrapping up the regular season. Jets at 10-5, a victory, and they qualify for the postseason for the first time since 2010. Stephen Ridley is in there once again with Tommy Bohannon in front of him. Give it to Ridley, cannot get to the outside. Chopped down by Jerry Hughes on the play for Buffalo. It's a loss of 2. Starting offense for the Jets. Question marks as to whether Breno Giacomini would be able to play because of an ankle injury, but he is in there for New York. Ridley getting the start at running back. We'll see how Chan Gailey uses the running backs today without the presence of Bilal Powell. Giacomini, who won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks, trying to get to the playoffs with the New York Jets on a 2nd and 12. Jets deep in their own territory. Running play again. Ridley takes it to the outside. He's got some room. Ridley veers towards the perimeter. Duke Williams whiffed, and he turns it into a 13-yard gain for New York.
And he's going to get some help from Quincy Enunwa, number 81 here. and also from Fitzpatrick. Willing to get out front. Fitzpatrick has a little shoulder on Mario Williams, but the stiff arm there, and great balance by Ridley to get to the corner and pick up the first down.
Hey, Mike's 5'2" now. Mike's 5'2".
Well, Stephen Ridley, who is familiar with playing here in Buffalo as a member of the New England Patriots, they moved the chains for the Jets. Hesitation move from Ridley, takes it up the gut, met by Marcel Darius. It's a gain of 1 for Ridley. So the Jets are on a 5-game winning streak. They haven't had a 6-game winning streak since 1998. Fitzpatrick against Miami, the 4 touchdowns. Down to the wire against the Giants, they win it in overtime. They dominated Tennessee. Dallas bullocked the game winner late. And then against New England, the overtime victory. Character building win, so says Todd Bowles. Gritty victories, as he described them. 2nd and 9 for the Jets. Motion man is Enunwa. Keep it on the ground for Ridley. Hop step to the 25. Hit down low by Corey Graham. It's a 3-yard pickup for Ridley. Sets up 3rd down now for the Jets.
You can see what the Bills are going to do. So far, they've been double teaming Brandon Marshall with Corey Graham and Leotis McKelvin, trying to keep Marshall out of the game at the start.
So now it's Ivory in the 3rd down role in the backfield for the Jets, replacing Ridley. 4-receiver set. Tompkins is in, along with Enunwa, Decker, and Marshall. 3rd and 6. Rush is coming. Fitzpatrick sets. He throws. Twisting attempt by Tompkins. It's incomplete. McKelvin back there defensively for Buffalo.
That was a good throw by Fitzpatrick, but the wind kind of got it at the very end. Look at the adjustment here as it comes up short. Tompkins was behind the defensive back there, McKelvin, but the wind caused that ball to come up a little bit short.
Second punt from Quigley. Walter Powell standing at the 39. Sailing kick. Brings Powell back again. Takes it on a bounce. Didn't move forward on it. And the Jets will touch it at the 33-yard line. A 42-yard punt. Aaron Henderson making it down on special teams. We remain scoreless in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. And by New York Life. Here to help you keep good going.
This Thursday, meet a guardian angel with no wings, no halo, and no boundaries. Jay Lynch stars in Angel from Hell, premiering Thursday at 9:30, 8:30 Central, only CBS. AFC wildcard update. It's either the Jets or the Steelers. The Jets get in with a win or a Pittsburgh loss. We'll keep you updated on the Steelers and the Browns. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter in Cleveland. No score. They spot the football at the 34. And with the wind playing tricks out there.
A good decision by Powell not to try to make that catch if he cannot judge it properly. Ball comes straight down as it approached the returner.
Double tight end set with Bragg and O'Leary. Taylor in some trouble. Loops out of it. Taylor, a little flip downfield and makes the connection. O'Leary lost it. It's incomplete. David Harris over there defensively for the Jets.
Now Calvin Pace in pursuit of Taylor, not fast enough to get to him. And a drop pass by O'Leary there. That would have been the first positive play of the afternoon offensively for the Bills.
Hey,
Carlos Williams in the backfield. Taylor is 0 of 3.
Hey, Jim, hey!
Williams, the rookie out of Florida State. Impressive first season, 5th-round draft pick. Taylor, flip it to Williams. Unable to turn the corner. The Jets in pursuit along the sideline and no gain. Defensively for the Jets, Sheldon Richardson continues to show off his versatility, playing a lot of linebacker last week in that win over the Jets, over the Patriots. Linebackers, Demario Davis is now tied for the team high in tackles with David Harris. And in the secondary, this group has gelled nicely. Marcus Gilchrist was not the biggest name to come over, but Gilchrist has been rock solid for Todd Bowles' squad. It's a dime package for New York with Marcus Williams and Buster Skrine in there on a 3rd and 10. Taylor over the middle, no room to run. Catch is made. Williams slammed down by Muhammad Wilkerson, the Pro Bowler, and the Bills go 3 and out again. That's a loss of 1.
Now Wilkerson having an outstanding year, going to the Pro Bowl for the first time. Watch as he recognizes this screen and finds where Williams is and absolutely punishes him along with Leonard Williams.
So another punt from Colton Schmidt. Jeremy Curley will wait for it at the 18-yard line of the Jets. Curley averaging 8.9 yards per return this season. Moves back, brings it into the 15, makes his move. Brought down to the 25 and a flag thrown on the play. Kevin Reddick on special teams for Buffalo. 50-yard punt, 9-yard return for Curley.
I think Dexter McDougal is going to get caught for an illegal block on that return.
During the return, holding number 23, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
It is McDougal, the Maryland product. Back it up for the Jets. Jets and Bills, no score. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, has a long history of honoring players who have significantly impacted both the game and their communities. Each NFL team nominates one player for the award, and 3 finalists will be announced this month. The winner will be announced at the NFL Honors Award Show on February 6th on CBS. This year's nominee for the Jets, Eric Decker. For the Bills, Eric Wood. Decker, through the Eric and Jesse Decker Foundation, strive to positively impact the lives of military service members and veterans. The Eric Wood Foundation provides life experiences to children in the greater Buffalo area. Fitzpatrick almost intercepted. It was right there for Corey Graham. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB, Boomer Esiason.
Big Ben owns Cleveland.
That's right, he does today. 10 of 11, 98 yards. This touchdown pass, 2 yards to Heath Miller. Antonio Brown, 5 catches, 75 yards, 7-0 Steelers, as the Steelers are doing their part. And obviously, JB, you know they need help from the Buffalo Bills.
That they do. Back to Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts and Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, last week the misstep from Pittsburgh against Baltimore allowed the Jets to control their own playoff destiny. It's a 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick, incomplete. Trying to hit Kellen Davis. And the struggles continue for both quarterbacks in the early going. 7:44 mark of the first.
And Corey Graham on the previous play, if he picks that ball off, he walks into the end zone. And now Fitzpatrick on this last play trying to hit Kellen Davis over the middle. Kellen Davis has just 3 catches all season. But a good play by Duke Williams to cover the tight end closely.
Just 8 catches combined for the tight ends on the Jets roster.
12 men in the huddle against the Jets.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Oh, this has been a rough start for the New York Jets.
This is a rough place to play, period. Great fans, very knowledgeable when to make a lot of noise, and obviously the weather conditions. And now in this first quarter, it's all been field position going against the Jets.
So 3 penalties against the Jets. Buffalo is actually the most penalized team in the NFL this season. Mario Butler is in. Jonathan Meeks as well for Buffalo. It's a dime package for Rex Ryan's team in a 3rd and 15. Fitzpatrick hit from behind, loses the football.
They're going to say he was down by contact when the ball came out. The Jets recovered, but huge play again for the Bills defense.
And it's Mario Williams with the heat.
That's just his 5th sack of the season for the Bills, but he went the polar route around to Brickashaw Ferguson to get the sack and a near fumble recovery by the Bills.
And Quigley is standing deep in his own end zone. Shanks it.
Well, when the Jets needed a good punt from Quigley, they got an absolutely horrible punt. Just 21 yards.
A clunker from Quigley. Jim Kelly was on the receiving end.
Yeah, but did he fair catch it? All right, ball comes off the side of his foot, and he still hooks it left. Shows you the problems that Quigley is going to have when punting against the wind.
So the field position game is being won by Buffalo in this opening quarter. They take over at the Jets 25. Running play, Carlos Williams accelerating towards the outside for 4. David Harris brings him down on the play for the Jets.
And it shows you just how important the coin toss is in a game where weather is going to be a factor. The Bills won the toss, elected to defer, kick the ball off, and take the field position, and it's about to pay off for Rex Ryan and crew.
6 offensive linemen here for Buffalo. Cyrus Kouandjio, the second-year tackle out of Alabama, is in. Carlos Williams remains in. Kouandjio goes in motion. Handoff. Williams sidesteps. Short of a first down. That's a 3-yard pickup with Damon Harrison there, the space eater for the Jets on that defensive line.
Well, it is tough to run right at the Jets. You see the Bills trying to go wide and then cutting back. In the game in November, Leonard Williams had 7 tackles, Wilkerson 6 tackles, and Richardson picked up another 5. That's a lot of tackles for defensive linemen in a ball game.
Red zone defense ranked number 1 this season for the Jets in touchdown percentage. Timeout called by the Jets with 5:55 remaining in the first. This is the number 1 rush defense in the NFL, allowing 81.5 yards per game. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play and score, every game, and every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile. Well, the Jets offense has been red hot over the last 5 games. What they have not dealt with is the elements that they're experiencing today in Buffalo and the frustration from Ryan Fitzpatrick and company. Right now they're asking Casey Rogers and his defensive unit to hold up here against the Bills O. Still 6 offensive linemen, but a change. Ryan Groy is the 6th for Buffalo. 3rd and 3. Groy goes in motion. We've seen some interesting sets here. Taylor, play fake. Out of the pocket, dangerous with his legs. Taylor still going. Taylor diving for the pylon. Tyrod Taylor. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Well, he's the fastest quarterback in the NFL. He's going to get a great block from his tight end, Chris Gregg, right about there. That gives him the idea that maybe I can make it to the pylon, and he does as he beats Davis. 18-yard touchdown, hitting the pylon before the foot goes out of bounds. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tremendous speed, and then the awareness of where he was on the field, the athletic ability to reach across the goal line and hit the pylon. Beautiful play by Tyrod Taylor.
Well, something else that is not a gimme here, Dan, today, extra points.
No, but he does have the win behind him, so that should not be a factor.
Carpenter missed an extra point last week against Dallas. The 5th miss of the season for Carpenter. And he knocks that one through to give Buffalo a 7-0 lead in the opening quarter. Tyrod Taylor doing it with his legs and putting the Bills on the board first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL, and by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
The touchdown for Taylor, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season for Buffalo. It's a franchise record in rushing yards for a quarterback, and the Bills lead it 7-0 over the Jets. 5:43 remaining in this first quarter. Jordan Gay kicks it off. Antonio Cromartie is not going to get an opportunity for the Jets. They'll have it at the 20-yard line.
This is going to be basically a one-man route to Sammy Watkins as he's going to go down into the middle of the field. But keep your eye on the tight end here. Chris Gregg is blocking, then releases, and then sees Taylor going to run. He takes out after the defensive back, clears the way for the 18-yard touchdown run by Taylor.
It was Calvin Pryor who had the last opportunity at him. That was during the extra point. Brandon Marshall called over the punter Quigley. Looked like words of reassurance. After that poor punt set up Buffalo in excellent field position. Ridley. He's out of bounds. He picks up a yard and a half. Duke Williams angling over for Buffalo. Well, the average drive start for Todd Bowles and company. The Jets' 16-yard line, quite the opposite for Buffalo. And interesting how the Jets are utilizing the running backs. It's been Ridley as the featured back and Ivory as the third down back. Taylor working on his hamstrings there along the Buffalo sideline. It's a 2nd and 8 now for the Jets. Fitzpatrick to throw. Drop ball by Marshall. In front of Mario Butler.
Well, maybe Quigley should go over and console Marshall now, because this is a huge drop. Would have been a first down. Good out route by Marshall. The ball kind of drops at the end. We're seeing the effects of the wind one more time here, but that's a flat drop by Marshall in front of the defensive back, Mario Butler.
Butler was playing way off. It's a 3rd and 8. Fitzpatrick is 1 of 6 for 6 yards. Play clock is down to 3. They just get the snap back. Rush is coming. Another low throw. Decker tries to scoop it up and make a move. The Bills are ready for him. It'll be a loss of 1. Graham combining with Butler on the stop.
Yeah, once the ball gets out of a tight spiral, then the wind will play tricks with it. And that basically, that could have been called an incomplete pass, because I'm not sure that Decker had complete control. His right hand is off that ball. But they're going to give him credit for a catch, but another failed third down conversion attempt.
Quigley just had a 21-yard attempt. That one was not that clean either, but he will get a Jets roll inside the Buffalo 30. Touched at the 29. That one will go for 49 yards for the Jets, who trail the Bills 7-0 in the first. The update in Cleveland, the Browns have cut into the Pittsburgh lead. It's now 7-3 Steelers late in the first quarter. Bills take over after the Quigley punt at their own 30-yard line. Taylor to throw it. On the outside, catch made by Watkins and a modest gain of 6 yards on first down. NFL Today update, JB and Boomer standing by in the Big Apple.
Mr. Playoff Scenario, Boomer.
Well, and here is that field goal that Ian just talked about. Travis Coons, 29 yards. This came after a Ben Roethlisberger interception. Pittsburgh still leads 7-3 over the Cleveland Browns.
Back to Iron Eagle.
All right, JB, some funky formations here from Buffalo. This is 7 offensive linemen now with Groy and Quanjo in. Greg Roman getting creative, the offensive coordinator, trying to create some space for Gillislee. And he picks up 2 yards on the play. Muhammad Wilkerson stands up to him.
Well, here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot of beef on the right side.
Good count there, Dan. Very strong.
Well, don't make me go take off my shoes. It's too cold to do that.
Greg Roman was in San Francisco the last 4 years working with Harbaugh. His first year working with Rex Ryan. Number 11 in total offense, number 12 in scoring in the NFL. On a 3rd and 2, Williams hit initially. Good effort by Williams. Bulldozes for the first down. Harris had the contact, but Williams with a spin to pick up the necessary yardage.
Well, he's 6'1", 240 pounds, and a lot of power here. Look at the desire as he takes on 2 Jets head-to-head, then spins away from Wilkerson. There's the shot by Harris. then the one by Henderson. Great play by Carlos Williams.
Rex Ryan called him a man-child. He's going to develop his upper body. Catch is made by Watkins trying to create. Takes it to the other side and turns it into a positive pickup. 7 yards. The skills of Sammy Watkins, who is a game breaker, dynamic player in his second year from Clemson.
He made about 8 Jets miss as he would duck in, try to get upfield, didn't like it, just kept running, kept his legs going, and pick up another big play here. Important for the Bills to take advantage of the wind at their back here with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
It's a 2nd and 3 now for Buffalo. They've got a 7-0 lead on the Jets. Looking out of the gun, Gillislee. He's hit short of the first down. Just before he got to midfield, it's a 2-yard pickup. Aaron Henderson in on that stop for the Jets.
That was a smart run, though, by Gillislee. He knew he couldn't get to all the way around the corner there, so he took what he could get, lowered his head, and brings up a 3rd down and 1.
Pro Bowler LaShawn McCoy sitting this one out with a right knee injury, so Roman going with a combination of Williams and Gillislee. This is 3rd and 1, less than a yard. Pitching. Williams. First down, traveling the sideline. And Williams is out of bounds.
Went out at about the 45-yard line, which is plenty for the first down. You can see the creative little pitch to the outside to the big back. And that foot is out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 44.5-yard line. But right here is where he gets the first down, knocking Cromartie to the ground.
So Buffalo keeps the drive alive. We're under a minute to go now in the opening quarter. Another jumbo formation with Monjo as an extra lineman. Play action. Taylor dials it up. Good hands by Watkins. 13-yard hookup in front of Darrelle Revis. Revis fell down on the play.
Now, this is the main event in the passing game today. Just 3 catches in the game back in November. The last catch, though, sealed the win for the Bills. You can see Revis go to the ground, but how about reaching out on a cold, windy day by Watkins for 13 and another first down?
We asked Watkins about the matchup with Revis. He said the ball has to be thrown perfectly against him. He'll press you. He'll get physical. You're not going to beat him. You may catch the ball, but you won't necessarily beat him on the play. You have to attack it. First down. There's the burst. Gillislee, the former Miami Dolphin, had a 50-yard touchdown run last week, had a 60-yard touchdown run before that, and the end of one in Orchard Park. The Buffalo Bills with a 7-0 lead against the Jets. They're trying to keep the Jets out of the playoffs. Second quarter action coming up. The NFL on CBS. First quarter controlled by Buffalo. They've got a 7-0 lead on the Jets, and they're looking for more as we start the second quarter in Orchard Park, New York. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. The Jets clinch a playoff berth with a victory or a Pittsburgh loss. Buffalo has a 2nd and 1 at the 22-yard line of New York. Gillislee runs into a crowd and gets stacked up. Sheldon Richardson leading the charge for the Jets. Pushing and shoving. Tempers flaring. Richie Incognito in the middle of it. Leonard Williams was there.
And a flag was thrown, so we'll see what the officials saw here.
No penalties against the Bills so far in this first half. Long discussion for Walt Anderson.
After this, it's going to go first down.
And it's Leonard Williams.
And it was not Incognito that started this. There's that shove right there. It's always the second guy.
Wood was in there.
And Leonard Williams trying to throw a forearm. That draws the flag. Second guy always gets the call, doesn't he?
He does, and the Buffalo Bills take advantage. They spot the football at the 11-yard line, and a 1st and 10 for Buffalo. We're just underway in the second quarter. Jets losing their cool, 4 penalties, 31 yards against New York. Hogan goes in motion. Taylor directing traffic here. A shift from Felton. On the option, Carlos Williams out of bounds. We've seen creativity from Buffalo on offense.
Now, Greg Roman promised that he would shift gears. We've seen 7 offensive linemen. This is the first option play right down the line. Perfect read as Taylor pitches the ball off of Sheldon Richardson, and Williams takes it to the 5.
On this drive, Buffalo has 54 yards. The Jets with 19 total yards in the first half. 11th play of the drive for Buffalo. Good blocks from Glenn and Felton on that previous play. 2nd and 4, shotgun, Taylor. Sets, fires, incomplete. Watkins with Revis and a flag down, a late flag.
Walt Anderson asking the official on that side if this ball was catchable or if the ball was tipped, as Muhammad Wilkerson is claiming.
Jets trying to make their case.
See what kind of lawyers they can be.
There is no foul for pass interference on number 24. The ball was tipped. It's 3rd down.
Judge Judy says they win the case.
Yeah, but I'm not sure Judge Wapner would agree.
What do you got?
A fingernail. Maybe.
You see the trajectory change just a bit.
Wilkerson with the left hand, tremendous athletic ability to get up and just affect that ball slightly.
And now a 3rd and 4. 5 receivers set for Taylor. Taylor underneath. Catch is made by Carlos Williams, but he's short of the 1st down. So it's 4th down for Buffalo. It's the last game of the year. Buffalo isn't going anywhere after this one.
And you know Rex Ryan doesn't want to kick a field goal here, does he? Leaving the offense out there.
They can still get a 1st down. It's 4th and 1.
And I think that's key to this decision, too, for Rex Ryan. Does not have to get all the way to the end zone here. Just needs to get to the 1-yard line for a 1st down. Watch the option play here.
And a timeout called by the Jets with 13:02 to play in this first half. Buffalo trying to add to its lead. Week 17 continues later today on CBS and Fox. Then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Line of scrimmage is just inside the 3. They have to get across the 2-yard line.
And the Bills have the perfect elements here for this type of situation. You got a big, powerful back in Carlos Williams at 240, a mobile quarterback who in Tyrod Taylor, who's already has his 4th rushing touchdown of the season in the first quarter, and his ability to run the option play really stresses the defense where they're most vulnerable on the perimeter.
And the Jets have used 2 timeouts in this first half, both on defense. Steelers just missed a field goal in their game against Cleveland. Pittsburgh maintains the lead 7-3. Buffalo leads this one 7-0. 13:02 to play in the first half. 4th and 1 for the Bills. Watkins now goes in motion. Taylor on a give. It's a blast up the middle. Carlos Williams, he's in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Well, right behind the rookie, John Miller at right guard and Eric Wood, the center. Just a straight dive play, splitting Damon Harrison and Muhammad Wilkerson. And the power here, and then the spin at the end of the play to break the plane by Williams. Splitting the tackles there, David Harris coming up, and then just barely reaching across. Was his elbow down, though, before the ball crosses the plane.
Well, they'll take a look at it. All scoring plays reviewed.
A real good look at it here. Now the ball appears to be across. All he has to do is get to the front part of the goal line.
Review.
If it stands, it would be touchdown number 9 for Carlos Williams, the most for a Bills rookie since Lee Evans in 2004. Currently 13-0. They're taking a look.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field of a touchdown is confirmed.
The touchdown stands for Carlos Williams. And the Bills an extra point away from a 14-0 lead. 13 plays, 70 yards. That's the angle that they looked at. Definitive. And Williams got it in for the score. Extra point. Carpenter. He misses it. That was the direction where Quigley had his problems punting. Carpenter missing on the extra point, the 6th that he's missed this season. Buffalo has to settle for the 13-0 lead here in the second quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Acura Oh What Fun It Is to Drive event. Verizon. Better matters. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. No snow once the game started, but the wind has certainly been a major factor here in Orchard Park. Extra point missed by Carpenter after the touchdown by Williams. Jordan Gay will kick it off for Buffalo. Carpenter upset with himself after the extra point try.
Yeah, you know, he was playing the wind. Ooh. And that's a direct hit on the schnoz there. Been a bad couple of seconds there for Carpenter.
Extra point no good, and the helmet toss no good. Gay kicks it right through the back of the end zone. The Jets will have it at the 20-yard line. The difference now is that they have the wind behind them.
Yeah, 4 penalties in the first half now against the Jets. So, you know, you can talk about the wind and the weather and everything, but that has nothing to do with these penalties. The personal foul penalty there on the rookie Williams was crucial. And we've seen 12 men in the huddle.
Illegal touch by Decker, who then made the catch for the first down, but was out of bounds initially.
Yeah, so make all the excuses you want. You've got the win now. Time to open up the offense for Fitzpatrick, who's just 2 of 7 for 5 yards in that first quarter.
And then now Chris Ivory's in there on first down. They have been going with Stephen Ridley. Ivory. Chris Ivory working the speed down the sideline, and he's out of bounds. Ferguson and Mangold, the veterans up front, creating space for Ivory. He's over 1,000 yards for the first time in his NFL career.
Yeah, and it's his longest run of the season of 58 yards here. Big hole there, Mangold working it, and then the speed, the surprising speed of Ivory. Graham had to come from his safety spot to knock him out of bounds.
7th player in franchise history to crack the 1,000-yard mark. And it puts the Jets in business now, deep in Buffalo territory. Knocked away!
Manny Lawson this time. Jerry Hughes did it to Fitzpatrick on his first pass attempt of the day. But Lawson getting into throwing lane. Lawson goes 6'5". He's going to knock that one down with ease. Going to be another one of those quick little bubble screens to a wide receiver. Brandon Marshall, the intended one.
Manny Lawson among those saying that It was important to end the season on a high note, to carry it over into next season, to win one for Rex Ryan, who we call the player's coach. He's got the respect of the guys in this locker room, despite the 7-8 record. 2nd and 10, Fitzpatrick fires, incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the intended receiver. You know, the Jets were a bit of a surprise to start the season at 4-1, Dan. Then they went through a very tough stretch where Fitzpatrick was struggling. There were opinions being tossed about that maybe Geno Smith deserves an opportunity to take over the starting job. Todd Bowles said that was not going to happen. He stuck with Fitzpatrick, and they've gone on this hot streak.
Well, part of that lull, though, was a loss to the Bills when they lost 2 in a row before they turned things around with that 5-game winning streak.
Now a 3rd and 10 for the Jets with the play clock winding down. Out of the gun, Fitzpatrick throws on the move. Incomplete. Decker going downstairs trying to come up with it.
Well, he got inside of Roby on the post route. Number 37 is Roby. Just a slant route by Decker. And again, the ball kind of drops on him. Cannot get down low enough to pick it up. We've seen about 4 or 5 of these balls from Fitzpatrick. Either they're knocked down at the line of scrimmage or they come in and they just drop when it gets to the receiver.
It's a 40-yard attempt for Randy Bullock. Trying to get the Jets on the board. Bullock. No good. The adventure continues for the Jets. The Jets come up empty. After the big play from Ivory, the Jets have nothing to show for it. A banged-up Bills team has the upper hand here in the second quarter. 13-0 Buffalo leading the Jets. Missed field goal by Bullock. A 58-yard run by Ivory. But the Jets still scoreless as Buffalo takes over 1st and 10 at its own 30-yard line. Roll out. Taylor. It's a tight spiral, but it's incomplete. Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. Taylor took a shot from Muhammad Wilkerson on the play. Taylor's now 6 of 11 throwing the football.
Yeah, big shot by Wilkerson there. That caused that ball to miss Hogan on the outside. You can see can't even follow through the left arm or hand of Wilkerson getting to the right arm of Taylor.
Rex Ryan spent 6 years as the head coach of the Jets, went 46 and 50. He was fired on December 29, 2014 after a 4-12 season. No room for Gillislee. He's hit by David Harris on the play. It's a loss of 1 for Buffalo.
It is time for the Jets defense to step up here. They have the advantage of their offense, the wind at their back, and now they must continue to put pressure on Taylor and stop this running attack, bring up a 3rd and long now for the Bills.
Jets number 6 in the NFL in total defense this season. We mentioned it, number 1 against the run. 3rd and 11 for the Bills. Shotgun for Taylor. Deep drop. Taylor downfield. Watkins lost his footing, got back up, and Darrelle Revis was there. It's incomplete.
So earlier it was Revis falling and Watkins making a catch. This time Watkins goes down and he prevents the interception by getting back up and getting his hands on that ball before Revis can pick it off.
Now let's see how Colton Schmidt handles the wind. Kicking in this direction. Jeremy Curley standing at the 26-yard line for New York. Excellent kick. Handled by Curley along the sideline. And a flag is down. 51-yard punt by Schmidt. Bills with a 13-0 lead on the Jets. 11:05 left to go first half.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 15 of the kicking team, went out of bounds and did not attempt to return inbounds immediately. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, New York.
It's Chris Hogan, and it's the first penalty against Buffalo.
It's been a rough afternoon for Ryan Fitzpatrick. This first pass knocked down by Jerry Hughes and an underthrown deep ball to Kembro Tompkins. Potential interception there by Graham. A drop pass by Brandon Marshall. A poor low throw to Decker. 2 of 10 for Fitzpatrick for 5 yards.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, former member of the Bills, he said he really enjoyed his time in Buffalo. He's still in contact with a lot of people in the organization. He said he and his wife and his family made lifelong friends here. And he's trying to get a win and get to the playoffs for the first time in his career. Fitzpatrick hit as he throws. Marshall's got it for the Jets against McKelvin. Big play on the deep ball. 40 yards on the hookup.
Well, these guys just have a tremendous tacit understanding of the passing game. Marshall eyeing that ball all the way. He knew he couldn't get beyond McKelvin. And so did Fitzpatrick. Pressure that time coming from Duke Williams. Another big play for the Jets to start a drive. Let's see if they can capitalize this time.
They are inside the Buffalo 20. Fitzpatrick trying to find a rhythm here. Big hit. Ridley takes a shot from Manny Lawson. A 2-yard pickup for the Jets. Again, no Bilal Powell. He's out with that ankle injury. This is normally a play he would be involved in. Second and 8 for the Jets. They trail 13-0. We're under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Okay.
Out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. End zone. Marshall's there for the touchdown. Jets are on the board.
Yeah, great read by Fitzpatrick. The blitz was coming. He knew he had single coverage by Mario Butler, second-year player on the veteran Marshall. And Marshall ties the record. He turns Butler all the way around, ball right on target. Best pass of the day for Fitzpatrick, who is 3 for 3 on the drive for 60 yards.
That's 14 touchdowns now for Marshall, matching the franchise record. And for Ryan Fitzpatrick, 30 touchdowns. He sets the record for touchdowns in a season through the air, topping Vinny Testaverde, who had 29 in 1998. Fitzpatrick to Marshall once again. That's been the story for the Jets throughout the season. Will it be enough to get them into the playoffs today in Buffalo?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. And by Wendy's.
Well, for Brandon Marshall, number ones across the board in all-time single-season Jets history for a receiver. Receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns for Brandon Marshall in his first year with the Jets. Mike Maccagnan, the general manager of the Jets, acquiring Marshall via trade with Chicago, Fitzpatrick via trade with Houston, and those two have put together career years. Fitzpatrick, a 6th-round draft pick. Marshall acquired for a 5th-round draft pick. Walter Powell, the former Jet, on the return. Powell makes a cut. And he's brought down just short of the 30-yard line by Malden.
Well, this is a quarterback's dream. An all-out blitz here by the Bills. Safety coming, totally unblocked. Marshall with a post route. He turns around, the second-year player here. Fitzpatrick with a quick trigger, right on target. Perfect drive for Fitzpatrick and Marshall.
30th touchdown of the season for Fitzpatrick, single-season franchise record, topping Vinny Testaverde. First down for Buffalo. Running play, Gillislee. Nice speed from Gillislee. Rex Ryan called him the fastest slow guy I've ever seen. He runs with confidence. Ryan gave all the credit to the scouting department of Buffalo. Did an excellent job sniffing out that Gillislee would be a good fit, although he was forced to play because of injuries. This was not one of those things where they thought, oh yeah, sign Gillislee, he's going to step right in.
Yeah, and defensive coordinator Casey Rogers is familiar with Gillislee. They were together in Miami not too long ago.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Gillislee was a 5th-round draft pick in 2013. He's been on the practice squad with Arizona, with Miami, and with Buffalo. No gain as we send it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Well, and Gillislee's going to have to continue to carry the load because Carlos Williams has gone into the locker room to be evaluated for a knee injury. He's questionable to return. It occurred right after that touchdown run early in this second quarter. I'll keep you updated as I learn more, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Evan. They also have Boobie Dixon on the roster as well, if needed. It's a 3rd and 3 for Buffalo. 5 receivers set. 8:18 to go in this first half. 13-7 Bills in front. Taylor on time. Sammy Watkins takes it to midfield on the catch and run. 15 yards for Buffalo.
That's 4th catch of the afternoon for Watkins. He's the main man in this passing attack, obviously. With Charles Clay out, Robert Woods out. Look at the explosion after the catch. Made about 11 to 12 yards after grabbing that pass from Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor sat behind Joe Flacco for 4 years, and he said he learned a lot running the scout team, going against guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Haloti Ngata. And off to Gillislee. Not much there. It's a 1-yard pickup. So when Buffalo was looking for a quarterback, Taylor was a free agent. Rex Ryan was interested in acquiring Taylor back when he was the head coach of the Jets and could never pull the trigger, couldn't get a deal done with Baltimore. Taylor had options, and Rex Ryan told him, hey, it's going to be an open quarterback competition with you, E.J. Manuel, and Matt Castle. And Taylor won the job, and in Ryan's words, he won the job pretty early in training camp.
Yeah, even before that, with all the testing and the OTAs and everything, he would run sprints with the defensive backs and the wide receivers and not with the offensive linemen like guys like Boomer Esiason used to do.
Just Boomer? Taylor? He hits Watkins. Taylor and Watkins, that chemistry is developing. 16 yards. Watkins said, hey, we're both learning this together.
What I don't understand is why don't you double Sammy Watkins? I mean, he's the main target and has been all year long for Taylor and the Bills, especially in the last couple of games. Today already 5 catches. And Taylor's showing off that tight spiral, which is so important, trying to cut through this wind.
And Watkins is inching closer to 1,000 yards in his second year out of Clemson. He set it down for Buffalo. Gillislee lost his footing. 1.5 yards on the gain. Let's go to New York. JB and Boomer.
Cleveland inching back.
Well, they're making it interesting, aren't they? Travis Coons right here, 39-yard field goal. Steelers still lead, though. 7-6. Their offense hasn't really done much, and Ben Roethlisberger's thrown an interception.
Back to Ian Eagle.
And reports of major changes coming once again in Cleveland with Mike Pettin, Ray Farmer, head coach and GM, respectively. Browns are trying to spoil the potential party for Pittsburgh. Bills are trying to do the same here against the Jets. Taylor taking a shot downfield. Too far for Greg Salas. The veteran matched up with Cromartie.
Really good tight coverage by Cromartie. What he's going to do is he's going to pinch the field here. Does not go for that little out and up move. Gets the arm bar out there. Does not get called. The ball, very tight window along the sideline to squeeze that in. Thanks to Cromartie's coverage.
And now a 3rd and 8 for the Bills. 5:31 remaining in the first half. Gillislee in the backfield. He flanks Taylor. Play clock's down to 2. Taylor steps up. Taylor throws. It's complete for the first down. And it's Salas. 12 yards on the pass play.
Well, Salas has single coverage because the Jets are going to blitz Taylor. Good route there on screen. Ball on time, on target. And he did make a football move after he caught the ball. So when he hits the ground, it is not considered a fumble.
Buffalo is 5 of 9 on 3rd down conversions in this first half. They move the chains now for a 1st and 10 at the New York 20. Taylor on a give. Gillislee slammed down by Aaron Henderson, the former Minnesota Viking, in there up the gut to handle Gillislee and limit him to a 2-yard pickup. Two appearances in the red zone for Buffalo, 2 touchdowns. Jets came in #1 on defense in that category. Red zone touchdown percentage, allowing touchdowns 33% of the time. 2nd and 8 now for Buffalo. Back set up in the eye. Here's some trickery. Hogan was looking to throw it. Hogan turns the corner and hit along the sideline.
Hey, man.
He looped around Calvin Pace and turned it into a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, Hogan, a left-handed thrower. It's Greg Roman going with a little trickery here. You can see him looking down the field, but Pace is right in his face. And a nice little juke on Pace to get him a couple of yards down the sidelines, bringing up another 3rd down, very makeable 3rd down. A lot of options now for Tyrod Taylor.
Hogan is a Jersey guy, grew up not far from the Meadowlands, Ramapo, New Jersey. 3rd and 4 now for Buffalo. Taylor from the gun. Taylor, he's elusive. Taylor, good effort, but short. Down low, Calvin Pryor with a hit. And it's 4th down for Buffalo.
Rex Ryan just saw Dan Carpenter miss an extra point in this direction. And a kick here would be about the same distance. So he's going to leave the offense out on the field, and he brings in E.J. Manuel.
Manuel sets up as a receiver, the backup
And
quarterback.
so does, here's Tyrod Taylor.
So Manuel will now shift under center. Taylor's at receiver on the far side. There's a jump.
They got Sheldon Richardson in the neutral zone.
Well, Buffalo playing some mind games here with the Jets.
Well, they're opening up the entire playbook.
Neutral zone infraction, number 91, defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
I hate to coin a phrase, but it's the last game of the year. No holding back.
Where's Brent? Is he here?
Well, this is the type of situation where that tremendous saying comes from.
1st and goal for Buffalo inside the 10. 5 penalties against the Jets. Movement flagged down as Watkins was shifting off the line.
Yeah, Quan Joe
False start,
jumped.
number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So back it up now, just short of the 13-yard line. 12th play of the drive, taking up a lot of time as well here at the end of the 2nd quarter. Over 7 minutes allowed for Buffalo. 1st and goal. Motion man is Hogan. Taylor on the good. Gillislee! The play's blown up by an angry Sheldon Richardson.
Tremendous quickness by Richardson. 310 pounds, getting deep into the backfield of the Bills. Another loss, back-to-back plays for Buffalo.
Jets enter action at 10-5, 1 game better than Pittsburgh. A Jets loss and a Steelers win, and Pittsburgh would be in the playoffs. They've got a 14-6 lead over Cleveland now. Late 2nd quarter, touchdown from Antonio Brown, having a monster 1st half. Shotgun for Taylor. 2nd and goal. Steps up, flips it over the middle. Watkins with a catch, and quickly brought down by the linebacker David Harris. 5-yard pickup for Buffalo. Watkins a little slow getting up. Jets only have 1 timeout remaining as well, with 1:38 left on the clock.
And the Jets have failed miserably stopping the Bills on 3rd down 1st half. Bills at 5 out of 10 converting those crucial 3rd down situations.
3rd and goal now.
Using as much clock as possible.
Bills taking their time, huddling up. They're not even going to run a play here. Rex Ryan was indicating timeout.
Yep.
And he'll use it with 1:14 remaining in this first half. Bills are looking for more. They've got a 13-7 lead on the Jets. Report, JB and the gang. Latest NFL scores, highlights, analysis. Latest on the NFL playoff races, all coming up. Verizon halftime report. 14th play of the drive on a 3rd and goal for Buffalo. 5 receivers set. Taylor looking to run. Taylor's got an angle. Tyrod Taylor brought down inside the 5. Leonard Williams on the chase down, and it's 4th down for Buffalo.
And it's clearly a quarterback draw. It takes him a while to get started here. But once he sees the hole to the left side, now he's going to pick up yardage and bring up a decision time for Rex Ryan.
We're down to 40 seconds left.
The Jets have 1 timeout. They're going to let this clock run, apparently.
Rex Ryan keeping an eye on the clock.
That's how important that last missed extra point is now by Dan Carpenter.
So 27 seconds remain. And the Bills have it 4th and goal at the 2.
You know, it's crazy about the wind here is the flags at the top of the stadium are straight out, but the streamers at the top of the goalposts are barely moving.
It shifts. You'll take a look in one moment, and you'll look 5 seconds later, and they start moving in different directions.
Looks very benign right now for Carpenter, and here he comes.
So short field goal attempt here for Dan Carpenter. A chip shot from 20 yards away.
This is the old extra point distance.
Carpenter, a Pro Bowler for Miami back in 2009. 20-yard attempt. He knocks it through. Buffalo's got a 16-7 lead on the Jets. We've got 23 seconds to play in the first half from the Ralph. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher. All the latest NFL scores, highlights, and analysis, and the latest on the NFL playoff races, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Well, the Buffalo Bills used 9 minutes and 16 seconds on that drive. 15 plays, 70 yards. The Carpenter field goal from 20 yards away to give Buffalo a 16-7 advantage.
And pulling Sheldon Richardson off sides on a 3rd and short extended the drive.
The last 5 games for the Jets, all victories. They're averaging 422 yards per game, the most in the AFC over that span. They've been held to 137 in this first half. Gay puts it on the ground. It's a high hop, and it's handled by Cumberland. Makes a knee just across the 20.
Too many mistakes for the Jets in this ballgame, and a 21-yard punt by Quigley here gave the Bills great field position. Drop pass early by Brandon Marshall. Low throw now by Fitzpatrick. Missed 40-yard field goal by Bullock, and then there's that offsides on Sheldon Richardson that kept the drive alive. Just too many mistakes for a team that has everything in the world to play for.
Only 20 seconds left. Jets do have a timeout. Ryan Fitzpatrick operating out of the gun. Give it to Ivory. Ivory up the middle. Across the 25. 5-yard pickup. And that's going to do it. The Buffalo Bills with a 16-7 lead over the New York Jets. Jets are trying to qualify for the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. End of the first half. The Bills in front. Buffalo has beaten the Jets 4 straight. 3 consecutive blowout wins here at home over the Jets. 16-7, that's your halftime score in Orchard Park. We'll come back. The Verizon halftime report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. End zone. Marshall's there for the touchdown. Jets are on the board. Taylor on a give. It's a blast up the middle. Carlos Williams, he's in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Getting ready for the start of the second half in Orchard Park, New York. The Bills 16, the Jets 7. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Evan Washburn is down on the sideline. We know what's at stake here for the New York Jets. A win and they get into the playoffs. Buffalo is trying to ruin the party for New York. Greg Roman, no doubt he's gotten creative in a lot of these formations and also trying to catch the Jets napping a bit. E.J. Manuel comes in, initially lines up as a receiver, then goes under center. Tyrod Taylor sets up as a receiver, and then Sheldon Richardson on a fourth down jumps. That gives Buffalo extended life on the possession.
Well, the Jets have just been their own worst enemy in that first half. Their inability to get off the field on third downs, inability to convert third downs even when they're on offense. The penalties, inexcusable. You mentioned that one against Richardson. And then the plays in opponent's territory, time of possession, all these numbers add up to a potential upset by the Bills. And Rex Ryan promised us yesterday his team would play hard. This team has delivered on that promise.
The Jets will kick it off to open up this second half. Buffalo will receive with Randy Bullock on the kickoff duties for New York. Walter Powell is deep for the Bills. Unreturnable. Bills will have it at the 20. We check in downstairs with Evan.
Well, guys, the biggest concern of Todd Bowles to come out of the first half is the way his defense played. He said we have to get off the field on third down. That's what created, obviously, that time of possession battle. Wasn't willing to make the wind an excuse at all, obviously saying both teams have to deal with it. As for Rex Ryan, the most interesting thing he said was that the way they're defending Sammy Watkins, not allowing him to get over the top. He said they're afraid of their speed, so we're going to take what they give us underneath. A couple injuries to update. Carlos Williams is out with that knee. John Miller, offensive lineman, dealing with an ankle. His return is questionable.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that as well. We saw more of Gillislee because of that injury to Williams. Taylor throws it out of bounds with a flag down. Watkins and Revis locked up along the sideline.
Yeah, they may call Revis for holding on Watkins.
Illegal hands to the face, number 24, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Inauspicious way to start the second half for the Jets.
Yeah, just a little right hand there, slap to the face mask of Watkins. That will draw the flag.
Hey, Mike 52.
Horrible start. Penalty on the very first play.
So 6 of them now against New York, costing the Jets 41 yards. And a 1st and 10 from the 25. Running play, Gillislee. Nowhere to run. He's stood up by Williams, brought down there after a gain of 1.
Now this is where the injury to Carlos Williams really hurts the Bills. He's the between the tackles type of runner. Gillislee more the speed back to the outside. Has a couple of long runs on the year, a long of 60. Has shown that breakaway speed ability, but right now, just doing a good job of stopping him. Last couple of carries.
He had over 1,100 yards rushing his senior year at Florida, 10 touchdowns. Gillislee loses the football. The Jets are there, and they've got it. Huge turnover to open up this second half. Revis comes out of the pile with the football for New York.
That's his 4th fumble recovery of the season to go along with his 5 interceptions here. Who pulls it out? Looks like the right arm of Damon Harrison hit Gillislee on the right bicep, and the ball comes out. Watch the long reach there by Snacks. And the treat is picked up and dug out of the pile by Revis.
Well, Todd Bowles telling Evan Washburn how disappointed he was in the defensive performance in the first half. They come away with a turnover early in this third quarter. 30 takeaways this season, 3rd in the NFL behind Carolina and Arizona.
Yeah, they forced 21 fumbles and recovered 12 of them. Outstanding numbers to go with their 18 interceptions.
All turnovers are reviewed, so they are just confirming it up in the booth. The Jets would take over at the 23-yard line of Buffalo And it stands. It's been confirmed. Fumble by Gillislee. Recovery for New York.
Boy, Gillislee falling on that left knee awkwardly.
First down inside the 25 of Buffalo. Ridley trying to plow inside and picks up 2 yards on the play. Combination of Mario Williams and Marcel Darius in on the stop for Buffalo.
And again, Ridley starts the second half as the starting tailback. Ivory has just 2 carries for 65 yards at a 58-yarder in the second quarter.
Second and 8 now for the Jets. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Looks, throws, incomplete. Trying to squeeze it into Enunwa. It's 3rd and 8.
Well, Enunwa, who's made some big plays the last couple of ball games, cannot pull that one in. That's a good throw by Fitzpatrick, leading him down the middle of the field. He might have gone all the way to the end zone if he made the catch.
Jets are 0 of 5 on 3rd downs today. This is a 3rd and 8 for the Jets. Ivory goes in motion. Fitzpatrick. But a shovel is dropped by Enunwa. Nothing is working for an offense that has been so prolific over the last month and change.
Yeah, Enunwa, if he makes this catch, he may go all the way to the end zone. Here he is right here, and he comes across the middle. And Fitzpatrick shoveling it forward. He's got blockers out in front. And a clear sailing lane to the pylon.
And now a 38-yard attempt for Bullock, who missed from 40 yards away. 39-yard attempt is good. 16-10, the Jets do get the points off of the turnover. It's a 6-point game early 3rd quarter. Todd Bowles in his first year as the head coach of the Jets trying to join this list. Herm Edwards made the playoffs in his first season as the head coach of the Jets. Same with Eric Mangini and the same with Rex Ryan. Bowles, 52 years old, the NFL Assistant of the Year, and last year running the defense for Arizona. 16-10, Buffalo leads it. Kickoff from Bullock. Powell's going to take it out. And a shake and bake move. Powell tripped up as he hit the 15-yard line by Rontez Miles on special teams. NFL Today update. Let's go to New York. JD and Boomer.
Cleveland playing hard.
Well, Pittsburgh's up 14-9, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to throw another interception in this game, and this is Craig Robinson. And watch him weave in and out of the hash marks, around the numbers, down the sideline, and he's going to be stopped right around the 10-yard line, right there for the Cleveland Browns. Unfortunately for Cleveland, they have been doing nothing offensively and had to settle for field goals.
Back to Ian Eagle.
And outstanding play-by-play from Boomer Esiason. Worked the hash marks, the sideline. He did it all. Give it up to Gillislee. He's hit shy of the 20-yard line, picks up 4 yards. Among those there, Wilkerson and Harris for New York. So maybe a shift here after the defense comes up with a big play. The Jets trail Buffalo 16-10, still early in this 3rd quarter.
And Gillislee's fumble last possession was his first career fumble, and has given the Jets a huge spark to start the second half.
He was signed to the practice squad by Buffalo on November the 4th, promoted to the 53-man roster on December the 5th. Taylor, he hit Sammy Watkins for the first down.
And Revis really giving Watkins a lot of cushion there to pick up that 8-yard reception and the first down. Bill's offensive line doing a good job of keeping the Jets pass rush away from the quarterback. Look, that's about a 10-yard cushion there by Revis, and the timing perfect.
Sammy Watkins, 10 targets. He's got 70 yards on the day. 19 yards away from 1,000 yards on the season. Gillislee hit from the side. He was trying to turn it upfield, and Aaron Henderson would have none of it. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Well, Henderson taking the place of Demario Davis reads this play, and then a perfect tackle, leading with his head across the body of Gillislee. And it's a loss for the Bills.
2nd and 11 now for Buffalo. Line of scrimmage just short of the 27-yard line. Hogan the motion man for the Bills. Fakes the handoff. Taylor keeps it. Little stiff arm on Revis. And he's out of bounds. Taylor picks up 4 yards on the play. JB and Boomer, more updates from New York.
Ian, back to our play-by-play.
Well, Pittsburgh giveth, and then they take it away. How about Super Bowl 43 reminiscent? Oh, I don't think so, but that's James Harrison. He intercepts the ball, gets it away from that Cleveland offense that has not played very well this afternoon. And a sigh of relief for Ben Roethlisberger.
And you learned your play-by-play skills?
From Ian Eagle and Kevin Harlan.
All right, back to Ian Eagle.
What a boom he always did for the clubs. Hook up from Taylor to Salas, a former Jet, for 8 yards. They'll move the chains for Buffalo.
That's 2 catches for Salas today. That's 2 on the season for him, as he was recently picked up by the Bills. Look at how clean this pocket is. No pressure at all on Taylor. And Salas with a good route there, beating Marcus Williams.
Second catch for Greg Salas. He's got 20 yards, and this drive continues for Buffalo. We'll hit the 10-minute mark of this 3rd quarter, but before we do, Buffalo uses a timeout. Bills have 2 timeouts remaining. They've got a 16-10 lead on the Jets. 3rd quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Snickers. Snickers satisfies. And by Mercedes-Benz. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer.
People affected by severe weather and other disasters need help now. To support those impacted by disasters like the severe weather in Illinois, Missouri, Texas, and countless other crises, text Red Cross to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Disaster Relief. We've got 10:04 to play in the 3rd quarter here in Orchard Park, New York. The Bills 16, the Jets 10, and 3 wingheads.
Did you order those?
Yeah, did you get blue cheese or?
I'm strictly the celery guy.
Celery?
Yeah.
First down from the 40. Taylor gives it. Gillislee falls forward with a flag down. Picks up 4 yards on the play. Is it coming back?
Holding number 77, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It is Cordy Glenn, who is among the free agents that will have a decision to make, and the Bills will have a decision to make at the end of this season. Glenn, Incognito, Nigel Bradham will all be part of the discussion for Rex Ryan and General Manager Doug Whaley. Owner Terry Pagula issued a statement on Wednesday saying that Ryan and Whaley will remain in their current roles. Whaley has 1 year left on his deal. Rex Ryan, first year of a 5-year contract to coach the Bills. 1st and 20 from the 30. Taylor. Juggle and a catch. Sammy Watkins. Caught from behind. Revis. 38 yards on the catch and run, Dan.
I think Darrelle Revis is expecting some inside help here on this slant. About a triple catch there by Sammy Watkins. Look at the explosion after he finally corrals that ball. And it's another huge play for the Bills.
Watkins over 1,000 yards receiving. First Bill to do it since Stevie Johnson 3 years ago. 8 catches, 108 yards. He has been a killer today for Buffalo against New York. Play clock winding down. Gillislee takes a couple of shots inside. First one was dished out by Damon Harrison. No gain on the play.
You can see Gillislee hanging on with both arms wrapped around the ball now, especially when he's running in traffic.
Came in averaging 10.4 yards per carry. Gillislee today, 16 carries for 20 yards.
And the Bills have about a 16-minute edge in time of possession.
And nearly twice as many plays run on offense for Buffalo. 2nd and 10. Taylor, look at the time. Tyrod Taylor. He runs across the 30-yard line. He's brought down there by Wilkerson. It's a 4-yard gain for Taylor. And another 3rd down for Buffalo, which means another 3rd down for the Jets defense.
Talking to Rex Ryan about the dangers of the running quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, who ran the ball 14 times last week against the Cowboys. Asked Rex, he's not going to do that against the Jets. He says, no, I don't want him to do that unless I need him to. Typical coach. Whatever it takes, right?
6 carries for Taylor. This is a huge play on a 3rd and 6. Broken up. Salas, the intended receiver. Buster screen there defensively for New York.
Well, Todd Bowles and Casey Rogers come with the blitz this time, and it's a good one because it forces this quick throw low and away from Taylor. Great job by screen, but the Bills say, hey, got nothing to lose here. 4th down, it'll be a 46-yard field goal into this wind, and obviously a tough try for Carpenter. He's already missed an extra point in this direction.
4th and 6 for Buffalo. Taylor operating out of the gun. Taylor underneath, catch made by Watkins, and Watkins has got enough for the 1st down.
Well, if you blitz, you better get home. The Jets blitz, they do not get to Taylor. Taylor has the time to find Watkins, and then Watkins quickly gets up the field.
Todd Bowles not known for being demonstrative. Upset with his defense there. Watkins continues to burn the Jets to the tune of 9 catches, 116 yards. This drive continues for Buffalo. Running play. Boobie Dixon falls forward and gets some extra yards on the effort. 3-yard pickup. Aaron Henderson in on the stop. And Muhammad Wilkerson down on the play.
And maybe a right leg injury as he was bent over. The tackle was made on Boobie Dixon.
Muhammad Wilkerson, one of the leaders of this Jets defense, a Pro Bowler this year, being helped off the field now at the 6:30 mark of the 3rd quarter.
It's a right leg injury. Either it's his right ankle or his right knee. You see how he gets twisted and the whole pile comes down.
Five tackles today for Wilkerson. Leads the team in sacks with 12. Quarterback hits. Came in with 27 tackles for a loss. Had 11 before this game in Buffalo. Stephen Bowen will check in for the Jets.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52, A1.
This was either going to be one of the best days in Jets history, or it could turn into one of the worst. It's 16-10 Bills with 6:15 to play in the 3rd. 2nd and 7. Gillislee is slammed down by Bowen, who has stepped in for the injured Wilkerson. It's a loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, the Bills came in as the best rushing team in the NFL with 154 yards per game. And right now, they've got 87 yards on the ground. And that leads to that tremendous edge in time of possession.
Working on Wilkerson, they do have 2 rushing touchdowns. The Jets had only given up 2 rushing touchdowns all season until today. 3rd and 9. Shotgun for Taylor. Out of the pocket, he's got the speed. Taylor looks behind him. And a flag thrown as Taylor zigzags out of bounds. The pressure coming from Sheldon Richardson.
There is no foul on the play. It's 4th down.
NFL Today update. Let's head back to New York. JB and Boomer.
Pittsburgh looking for a cushion. And how about this little field goal right here? They go up 17-9. JV, I wasn't ready for that.
Hey, you're
you didn't
always
tell me we're doing that.
You're always ready. Drew Kaliski keeping us honest.
Thanks,
Back
Drew.
to Iron Eagle.
All right, guys. That was still Harlan-esque.
What does he have to be ready for? What's he doing besides that?
Well, there's snacks there. Field goal attempt from 37 yards away. Carpenter drills it. And Buffalo extends the lead. It's now 19-10. We have 5:02 to play. Third quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-carrier. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. Bills brought in some local shovelers earlier today at $10 an hour. Anybody that wanted the job to clear out the walkways.
Yeah, but you had to bring your own shovel.
So that eliminated you.
Well, I left it at home.
Jordan Gay kicks it off. Antonio Cromartie is deep. Cromartie's going to take it out of the end zone. He's hemmed in along the sideline. And stumbles across the 20-yard line for the Jets. 4:57 to play in the third. And Muhammad Wilkerson. Oh, boy. What a season he put together. Questions as to whether or not he was part of the long-term plan for the Jets. Did not sign a long-term deal. So the Jets have had the wind at their back in the second and third quarters, but they haven't had a whole lot of opportunities. The Bills have had long drives in the second and third quarters. Fitzpatrick throws on first down. Marshall with the catch and a stiff arm along the sideline for Brandon Marshall. It is enough for a first down. Let's go down to Evan Washburn.
Well, and you could see the emotion on Wilkerson's face. He could put very little to no weight on that right leg. The focus from the athletic trainers and doctors seemed to be the leg and foot area, not the knee. No official word from the Jets, but obviously does not look good as he headed in the locker room, guys.
All right, Evan Wilkerson in his fifth year, the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. He's been a professional from day one. Made just under $7 million this year. Never got that long-term deal, though. Chris Ivory going up the middle for 5 yards. Jets again working with just the two running backs, Ivory and Ridley. Bilal Powell is out with an ankle injury, and it's been pretty apparent that they miss him.
Well, they're missing his explosiveness, both as a receiver and as of late as a runner for the Jets, especially in third down situations where the Jets have struggled today. 0 for 6 on third downs.
Yeah, it's a 2nd and 5 here for the Jets. Ivory remains in there. We're under 4 minutes to go in the third. The Jets trail the Bills by 9. Fitzpatrick, it's on time to Brandon Marshall. And another first down, this time into Buffalo territory. Brought down by Leotis McKelvin on the play.
And the Bills double team from the inside and outside. McKelvin outside, and then coming in late is the safety, Duke Williams. And it was an all-out blitz. But Fitzpatrick and Marshall hook up for 16 and a key first down.
5 catches, 90 yards, a touchdown for Marshall. Decker has been held to 1 catch so far on the day. Fitzpatrick is 7 of 17, 91 yards. Moving pocket, a throw against the grain to Enunwa. Walked out short of the 40-yard line. Now, this is new territory for Quincy Enunwa as well. He's got more responsibility because of injuries. Devin Smith, Chris Owusu earlier in the season. Darius just limped off. It's the first time Enunwa has been in this kind of situation, really in his first year out of Nebraska. And the bill down, it's the former Jet, I.K. Enampali, who made news after punching Geno Smith in the face in the locker room before the first preseason game, breaking his jaw and getting his walking papers from the Jets. Tomorrow, an all-new Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Don't miss Samuel L. Jackson. Plus, later in the week, Jerry Seinfeld and Matthew Broderick. All-new Colbert coming up this week. I.K. Enampali got up, limped to the sideline for Buffalo. Just 13 tackles this season for Enemkpali, who was a 6th-round pick of the Jets back in 2014. And a lot of the talk, the narrative has been out there that Enemkpali was sort of like the MVP for the Jets because he punched Geno Smith in the jaw, and that allowed Ryan Fitzpatrick to take over. I would tell you that the sense that was building was that Fitzpatrick would eventually have gotten the job anyway over Geno. Sidearm throw. It's offline. Brandon Marshall, the intended receiver. This coaching staff and the front office had no connection to Geno Smith whatsoever. Fitzpatrick, on the other hand, had a connection with Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator of the Jets. When he was the head coach in Buffalo, Fitzpatrick was the starter. And also Mike Maccagnan, who did not draft Geno Smith, but Maccagnan did work with Houston. Fitzpatrick played for the Texans last season, and he acquired him for what turned out to be a 6th-round draft pick. 3rd and 5. Fitzpatrick in some traffic. Eric Decker. Will it be enough for a first down? Trying to extend out. It all depends on the spot right now for New York.
And bring out the chains to take a look at this one. With Decker, the big body here, makes the catch here, is pushed back, and now he's going to reach down the field. Let's see it. 6'3", smartly reaching out before his knees hit down, and it pays off for the first down.
By the nose of the ball. New set of downs for the Jets. 2:17 to go in the 3rd.
So many things that receivers have to be aware of. Their feet along the sidelines, but also knowing when to dive forward, keep every body part off the ground, let the ball hit the ground first, as Decker did that time.
No.
And it paid off.
Even.
From the 36. Ridley back in there for the Jets. We hit 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Play action. Fitzpatrick looking downfield. They'll throw to the sideline. Incomplete. Kenbrell Tompkins was in the area for the Jets. It's 2nd and 10 now.
It was just a 3-man route that time. Tompkins on the side that Fitzpatrick rolled to. Decker right over the middle, then Marshall on the far side of the field. Not a lot of options on that pass play for Fitzpatrick. That's now 9 of 21 for 101 yards.
That Decker catch was the first 3rd down conversion for the Jets today. Now 1 of 7. This is a 2nd and 10 for New York.
He's going to have to burn a timeout in a game where they trail by 9.
Only had 10 players on the field.
And another uncharacteristic mistake for the Jets. Been plagued by mistakes all afternoon.
For a team that has changed its persona this season, they've been more disciplined. They cut down on the penalties compared to when Rex Ryan was the head coach.
And more clutch.
Oh, they've handled pressure situations. No panic for the Jets. Quarterbacks coach Kevin Petula, who is the go-between in the diagram with Chan Gailey and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Gailey called the plays. It comes through to Petula. Petula is in the headset of Fitzpatrick. 2nd and 10. Buffalo leads at 19-10. Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Fitzpatrick has time. He throws to Decker. First down with a 15-yard grab, working against Nikel Roby on the play.
Well, watch as Decker comes out of this break against Roby. This is a great throw by Fitzpatrick. Right on a line, right to the chest of Decker, where he can make the catch without even having to worry whether he's inbounds or not. First down.
Mike's 5'2".
Chan Gailey, the former head coach of the Bills from 2010 to 2012. Calling the plays for the Jets. Bootleg. Fitzpatrick on the move and tosses it away. Pressure coming from Williams and Hughes for Buffalo.
Chan Gailey says, I draw up the big picture, and Petula is in charge of the details. A lot of film study with Fitzpatrick and Petula. And when Fitzpatrick goes to the sidelines, they get on the pad there, and with the communication upstairs with Gailey. Nice three-way operation for the Jets.
5 straight wins for the Jets, and a number of those games came right down to the wire. A win today, and they are in the playoffs. 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick, high throw. Brandon Marshall out of bounds. Leotis McKelvin with the stick.
A great job by McKelvin helping Marshall go out of bounds. Grabs him here and holds him. Left foot is in, the right foot is out because of McKelvin's strength here to pull Marshall out of bounds. Jets have 4 first downs on this drive. They had 4 for the entire ball game prior to this drive.
It's a 3rd and 10. 1:15 to play in the 3rd. Play clock's down to 2, down to 1. Fitzpatrick steps up, pulls the trigger, end zone, touchdown! Fitzpatrick to Decker! And the Jets close the gap.
And again, it's a blitz, Ian. And the Bills don't get to Fitzpatrick because he can step up behind the blocking of Winters, Mangold, and James Carpenter. Look at the hole for him as Decker fakes out Graham at the 5-yard line. And Fitzpatrick, with his eyes down the field, floats him a soft one for the score.
It is the 9th game where Marshall and Decker have both had at least 1 touchdown. That's an NFL record. The extra point from Bullock. 1:10 to play in the 3rd. Buffalo 19, the Jets 17. 11 plays, 77 yards. Decker, his 50th touchdown. And Marshall and Decker, the first Jets teammates with 1,000 plus receiving yards in the same season since Keyshawn Johnson and Wayne Corbett back in 1998. That's 2 touchdowns for Ryan Fitzpatrick, a touchdown apiece for Marshall and Decker. This is a 2-point game, late stages of the 3rd quarter.
Decker has 375 receptions on his career, and his ratio of 50 touchdowns is just outstanding.
So a couple things to keep in mind. Carpenter missed an extra point. That's why Buffalo's at 19. Bullock missed a 40-yard field goal.
And you just know this game's going to come down to a field goal. And will the wind affect the attempt?
Bullock will kick it off to Walter Powell. That one bounces in the end zone. Bills will have it at the 20-yard line. You know, this team has talked about the chemistry and how close and cohesive this group has gotten. Marshall and Decker at the forefront. Pittsburgh leads Cleveland 17-12. They are just underway in the 4th quarter in Ohio. A Jets win, and that game becomes irrelevant. A Jets loss, and the door is open for the Steelers. Jets are playing without Muhammad Wilkerson. Ankle injury in this 3rd quarter. Gillislee tries to get to the outside, picks up 2 yards. Let's go to New York. JB and Boomer Esiason standing by.
A productive Browns foot. Well, 17-play drive, nearly 10 minutes of possession time leads to Travis Coon's 4th field goal on the day. Steelers still lead 17-12. That one from 29 yards.
Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Cleveland hanging tough. 40 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter in Orchard Park. 19-17, Buffalo in front. Watkins goes in motion. Taylor moves the pocket, throws on the move to Watkins. Short of a first down.
Watkins did a good job at just catching this low snap from Eric Wood. And Watkins, if he could have had this one back, he might have tried to get a little bit closer to the first down. caught the ball, just stepped out of bounds. The defensive back was playing off him. Had a chance to maybe pick up the first down.
Sets up a 3rd and 2 now for Buffalo. Taylor on the pitch. Hoovie Dixon will throw it back to Taylor. Do they have something working downfield? Taylor looking to run. Brought down into the bag of tricks, and it doesn't work for Buffalo. David Harris with the hit. No gain on the play, and that's the final play of the 3rd quarter. We go to the 4th. The Jets need a win to secure a playoff spot without any help. It's tight in Orchard Park. We start the 4th quarter in Western New York. Buffalo 19, the Jets 17, and the Bills will punt 4th down. Darrelle Revis, his presence felt on that trick play by Buffalo that didn't work. Colton Schmidt the punt. Curley ranges over, brings it in cleanly, and darts towards the sideline. He's out of bounds, shy of the 30.
Now you go to 7 Pro Bowls because you don't fall for trick plays. Here's Revis, and here's Watkins. And when Watkins goes down the field, just kind of slowing down a little bit. But look at Revis. He feels something's coming here as the double pass comes back, and that's exactly where Taylor wants to go with this ball. But look at Revis right with Watkins, and the Jets get a huge 3rd down stop.
So the Jets have possession, trailing by 2, just underway in the 4th. They open up at their own 28-yard line. Chris Ivory in the backfield. Give it to Ivory. It's got a hole. And Ivory is brought down after a gain of 5.5 on the play. Mario Williams and Bakari Rambo in on the stop. We'll keep you updated throughout now this 4th quarter on Cleveland and Pittsburgh. 17-12, the Steelers leading the Browns. A Steeler loss, and the Jets would make the playoffs no matter what happens here in Orchard Park. A Jets win, and the Steeler game becomes irrelevant. 2nd and 4. Fitzpatrick fires. It's caught. Brandon Marshall curls it upfield. Marshall, a collision out near midfield, and he's hit hard by Roby. Holds on to the football. It's a 15-yard hookup and a 1st down for the Jets.
You can see the confidence level of the Jets just rising here as Marshall's snatched this ball and then quickly gets to the middle of the field. But Fitzpatrick getting time to throw now is really settling in and throwing some on-target passes.
Another single-season franchise record for Brandon Marshall, his 10th game with over 100 yards receiving. Passing the Hall of Famer Don Maynard. 1917 Buffalo, 13.5 to play in the 4th. Jets are on the move. Fitzpatrick working out of the gun. Throws. Fitzpatrick lets it fly. Incomplete. Looking for Tompkins down the sideline. Fitzpatrick took a shot as he released the football from Preston Brown.
Yeah, Brown coming from his middle linebacker spot on the blitz has a huge hole to run through and comes through clean. Tompkins had his man beat down the sidelines, but that hit by Preston Brown caused the incompletion.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is now 12 of 27, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, you got 52-91 there.
AFC Offensive Player of the Week after his performance against New England, the overtime victory 1 week ago. 2nd and 10, Enunwa shifts, and it's a handoff for Ridley. Ridley zigzags, hurdles, and a good run from Ridley. It'll all depend on the spot. Could be 9.5 or 10, depending on where they place it.
Watch Brian Winters here do a good job on Marcel Darius. Pins him to the inside, and Ridley comes up a yard short. Quarterback sneak for the 1st down.
Yeah, they snap it quickly because they didn't give him the 1st down, and Fitzpatrick does it himself. He goes down. He got tripped trying to get up. Mario Williams was lying down. Carpenter lost his helmet on the play. They needed half a yard. They got 3, and this drive remains alive for the Jets.
Yeah, momentum now wearing green. Todd Bowles looking a little bit more relaxed on the sidelines, if that's possible.
Hey, Mike's 9-1. Mike's 9-1.
First down for the Jets. Just short of the Buffalo 40-yard line. Motion man Decker. Fake the handoff. Fitzpatrick. Looks to throw. Fitzpatrick almost had it picked off.
There's going to be a personal foul penalty, roughing the passer on Manny Lawson.
The passer, number 91, defense. Contact to the quarterback's head. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And he hit him right in the helmet with his helmet. Almost knocked Fitzpatrick's helmet off his head.
So both teams taking a long walk as they place the football at the 25-yard line of Buffalo.
Normally this would be field goal range. Not today.
And not in this direction.
That's right.
Hey, push! Come with me now!
Go with the pistol formation. Fitzpatrick on a handoff. Ridley is stopped. Corbin Bryant, who has stepped in for the injured Kyle Williams. Williams, one of 18 players on injured reserve for Buffalo. A four-time Pro Bowler. And Buffalo has missed his presence on that defensive line. Bryant makes the stop. We're down to 11:45 to play in the fourth. 19-17, the Bills leading the Jets. Jets are inside the Buffalo 25. Fitzpatrick steps up, fires, soft spot, Eric Decker. First down, Jets.
Well, that time Fitzpatrick had all the time in the world. Look him survey the field, first to this left, then back to the right. The chance to step up in the pocket a little bit and allow Decker to find that soft spot in the zone. And another first down for New York.
5 catches, 50 yards for Decker. Ball is placed just inside the 15.
Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2. Oh, learn out.
Second appearance in the red zone today for the Jets. Shotgun. Fitzpatrick. Rifles. Incomplete. Marshall was covered. Mario Butler among those there for Buffalo.
Yeah, Mario Butler anticipating the post route here. A little bit of a contact there that could have been called, but the ball was thrown so far to the inside, uncatchable. Good coverage that time, though, by Butler, who's been burned a couple of times this afternoon.
9th play of the drive for the Jets. 2nd and 10. Tompkins goes in motion. Fitzpatrick unloads. Intercepted! Leonis McKelvin with the pick. A costly one for the Jets. Fitzpatrick has avoided these throughout the season. This one came at the wrong time. Ryan Fitzpatrick's first trip back to Buffalo with a playoff spot on the line and a fourth quarter interception. Buffalo takes over 19-17 lead, 10:40 to play. Gillislee turns the corner, trying to dish out some punishment, picks up 3 yards. David Harris there defensively.
Go back to the interception. Here's Decker and here's Leonis McKelvin. It's a post route, but it looks like McKelvin, with all his experience, 8 years in the league now, anticipating it, ran the route for Decker. Just the second interception thrown by Fitzpatrick in the last 6 games. And I'm not sure what he was seeing there, because McKelvin had that one all the way.
2nd and 7 here for the Bills. Taylor, shotgun. A throw. Broken up by Revis. Watkins, the intended receiver. NFL Today update. JB and Boomer in New York.
Pittsburgh doing its part. Almost simultaneously with your interception by Ryan Fitzpatrick, Austin Davis fumbles for the Browns. It is recovered by the Steelers. That leads to this 8-yard touchdown reception by Marcus Wheaton. 2-point conversion was good for the Steelers. They now lead 25-12.
10:43 left in regulation. Back to Ian Eagle.
And the pressure builds here in Orchard Park. Jets trailing the Bills 19-17. 10:09 to play in the fourth. Taylor on a 3rd and 7. Henderson pressure. Taylor on the move. He's got his man. Greg Salas. First down, Buffalo.
Great mobility, moving out of the pocket to his left, and then finding Salas, and the adjustment by Salas to reach behind him to make that catch with Harris in pursuit. 20 yards on the game.
Under 10 minutes to play. Now operating at the 43-yard line. Taylor on the handoff. Nothing there for Gillislee. No gain. Thursday on CBS. Start the new year with a big bang. The first new episode of 2016, Thursday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. Boobie Dixon now comes in. Carlos Williams not a part of this because of a knee injury. Ryan Fitzpatrick just hoping that the Jets get the football back with no damage on the scoreboard. Jets were well within field goal range. We know that it's been an adventure kicking field goals or extra points in that area of the field. Hogan goes in motion on a 2nd and 10. Taylor throws to the outside. It is Hogan. And a modest gain, just 3 yards, setting up 3rd down for Buffalo.
If you're the Jets, you got to be thinking that Sammy Watkins is going to be the target on this play. The advantage the Bills have is the mobility and the escapability of the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, to extend the play and let his receivers get down the field and get open.
10 catches, 122 yards for Watkins. It's a 3rd and 7 for Buffalo. They try to bring the pressure. Clean pocket. Taylor throws. It's complete. And guess who? Watkins on the receiving end.
Now Watkins was frustrated playing the Jets back in November with just 3 catches. Having an outstanding day today. That's now 11 for 136. And a huge 3rd down conversion.
Green. Hey, easy.
Bills are in Jets territory at the 41-yard line. First down for Buffalo. Taylor with a deep drop. Steps up. Taylor gets towards the sideline and he's out of bounds. It's a 3-yard pickup for Taylor. We get an NFL Today update with JB and Boomer.
Pittsburgh playing alertly. Tell you, when it rains and pours in Cleveland right now, they are falling apart. This is going to be a fumbled kickoff return by Raheem Mostert of the Cleveland Browns. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to recover it right around the 26-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. They are now driving and leading 25-12.
10-19 and counting in regulation. Back to Ian Eagle.
If that holds up and this score holds up, Pittsburgh will be in the playoffs. Running play to Dixon. Caught from behind. Sheldon Richardson was not letting go of Boobie Dixon. 3-yard gain, and it's 3rd down for Buffalo.
Man, this is the first time I've ever worked in a 4-man booth, too. It's kind of cool.
That's true.
Those guys are awesome.
So now a 3rd and 4 for the Bills at the 35-yard line of the Jets.
This is the 18th 3rd down situation the Bills have faced today.
Salas goes in motion. 3rd and 4. Taylor runs for it. Tyrod Taylor. Great play call from Greg Roman. And the execution from Taylor. He got a key block from Incognito and Boobie Dixon.
Well, they're now 9 of 18. This was a 3rd and 3. And Taylor scores from 18 yards out. And then the great effort here by Carlos Williams to hit in the backfield of the pass to Sammy Watkins. Again, Watkins on this drive picking up the 3rd down.
And look at the time. We're down to 5:32 remaining in this 4th quarter. This drive has been over 5 minutes for Buffalo. 10th play. Big hit. Gillislee takes a shot up the middle. 2-yard pickup. Pushing and shoving at the end of the play. Aaron Henderson with a lick. Taylor taking over and showing off his leadership. With Jordan Mills there. We go under 5 minutes to play now.
Big thing here for the Bills is to realize that they are in field goal range now for Carpenter with the wind at his back. Although this is the end of the field where the Jets missed earlier.
Bullock missed on a 40-yarder. Running play going up the middle. Not a whole lot there, but Gillislee turns it into a 2-yard pickup. So another 3rd down. It was Rex Bowl 1 at the Meadowlands in the first meeting. Not a whole lot of talk about Rex Bowl 2 just because of where Buffalo is in the standings at 7-8. But Rex pointed out to his team a chance to sweep a divisional opponent. They swept Miami as well. They got swept by New England. They're trying to build something for next season. 3rd and 6 now for Buffalo. Huge play. Under 4 minutes to go. Taylor lofts it high in the air. Incomplete. Gillislee was covered by David Harris, and it's 4th down. 3:53 remaining in the 4th. So here comes Dan Carpenter. He's made a 20-yarder. He made a 37-yarder. This one is a 42-yard attempt for Carpenter. His 3rd year as a member of the Buffalo Bills. Trying to extend the lead from 42 yards away. He's got it. 22-17. Buffalo. 3:49 left at Ralph Wilson Stadium.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days. Verizon. Better matters. And by Amazon Fire TV. Change the way you TV.
The night before Super Bowl 50, the NFL salutes the best players and plays of the season in a primetime star-studded football and entertainment special. NFL Honors Saturday, February 6th, only CBS. Who is that? Nanuka the North? No. George Craffio by his lonesome on the roof.
That's the epitome of the short straw.
This is part of our fantastic crew. You want to be a cameraman at the network level?
No thanks.
Kickoff here from Jordan Gay after the 13-play, 56-yard drive and the 42-yard field goal from Carpenter. Antonio Cromartie is deep. Through the back of the end zone. Jets will have it at the 20. The Jets were poised to take the lead, but Fitzpatrick got picked off by McKelvin. Buffalo turned that into 3 points. Fitzpatrick gets another chance for the Jets when we come back. Game winning streak for the Jets. 3 of those have been very close. Week 13, Marshall the touchdown against the Giants. Overtime, Josh Brown misses a field goal. The Jets get the 3-point win. Week 15, Randy Bullock, field goal with 36 seconds left. That was the difference, a 19-16 victory at Dallas. And then last week, Fitzpatrick to Decker, a 6-yard touchdown in overtime, 26-20 victory over the New England Patriots. 3 wins in December with game-winning scores in the last minute or in overtime for the Jets. They trail 22-17. They've got to go 80 yards, and they've got 3 minutes and 49 seconds to do it. Fitzpatrick on first down. He hooks up with Marshall. It's a 9-yard pass play.
Has a great start to this drive. This is the direction that the Jets started the game in so miserably. Unable to get out of their own end of the field, but to get 9 yards on first down, confidence builder.
2nd and 1. Chris Ivory is in the backfield for New York. He gets the call. Ivory's got a first down. 3-yard pickup for Ivory.
That's just his 5th carry of the day. Ridley has 9 carries for 29. Ivory, of course, had that 58-yarder in the second quarter.
Single season franchise history. It's a new record for the Jets. The most yards they've ever put up.
Hey, Mike spot 2, Mike spot. Load it. Load it. Yeah.
Can they get 68 more? Fitzpatrick throwing. Incomplete. It's Mario Butler stepping in against Brandon Marshall.
Tremendous read by Butler. An out route by Brandon Marshall. And look at this reaction as he cuts underneath and gets his right hand in front of the 2 hands of Marshall and knock it away.
2nd and 10. Stephen Ridley is back in. They are working on the right shoulder of Chris Ivory. Fitzpatrick breaking a tackle. It's Marshall. A stiff arm and a first down. Tossed out of bounds by Rambo. There's Ivory along the Jets sideline with 2:32 to play.
What a veteran move by Marshall. First the catch, the sidestep here, and now more importantly, getting out of bounds after he picks up the first down. 12-yard gain on the play, and the momentum starts to build for New York.
The line of scrimmage is the 44. Jets trail 22-17. Fitzpatrick on a flip for Ridley. Lawson is there defensively, so Ridley cannot get it upfield for the Jets.
They're going to lose yardage on that play. And if Ivory can't go, remember Bilal Powell inactive today because of an ankle injury. It's going to be on Stephen Ridley.
Loss of 2. Ivory returns for the Jets. We've got 2:26 remaining. The give to Ivory, squeezes through and picks up 3 yards. 3rd and long as Brown combines with Roby to bring him down.
The Jets need to get this play off before they get to the 2-minute warning. But Fitzpatrick going to the sideline, content to let the clock run down in 2 minutes. I think that's a mistake. They only have 2 timeouts to work with and a long way to go to the end zone.
They'll face a 3rd and 9 when we come back to Buffalo. The Bills lead the Jets 22-17. A playoff spot is on the line for New York. 3rd and 9 for the Jets with 2 minutes to play. They trail Buffalo 22-17. Of course, it's 4-down territory right now for the Jets, so you're still thinking 2 plays to get your 9 yards. Shotgun for Fitzpatrick. As he throws a wobbler. Manny Lawson gets under it for the interception.
Pressure by Marcell Dareus. And that could do it for the Jets. Fitzpatrick wanting to go deep with this ball, but he could never let go of it. There's Dareus right in his face.
A potential devastating ending for the Jets.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Find your agent at statefarm.com. And by Subway and the turkey breast sandwich with no artificial preservatives.
The Buffalo Bills are on the brink of spoiling the party for the Jets and putting the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. 22-17, a minute 48 to go. Gillislee with the carry and a timeout called.
Watch the pass rush by number 99, right side of the screen, fighting against D'Brickashaw Ferguson and James Carpenter. Marcell Dareus, tremendous effort to get to the quarterback here and cause this dying quail that Manny Lawson will pick off for his first interception of the year. Fitzpatrick wanted to throw the long, high ball to his favorite receiver, Brandon Marshall, but Lawson tracked it down for the interception.
To end the first meeting between these two teams, it was 22-17 Buffalo. It's 22-17 Bills here in the season finale. Ryan Fitzpatrick has watched the playoffs the first 10 years of his NFL career, and he's a minute 45 from watching again. Second and 11. They tackle Gillislee. And the final timeout called by the Jets. Demario Davis with the stop. 1:39 to play.
That's why I think it was important for the Jets to try to get that third down play off before the 2-minute warning. I know that they want to get to the sideline and make sure on the third down play that they got everything square, but as you said, this situation in the game is no longer 4-down territory, 4-down time.
Yeah.
You have no other choice there. You're going to go for it on 4th down, so your third down play doesn't have to get all that yardage. They can get a piece of it.
Jets also called a timeout in the third quarter when they only had 10 men on the field.
Well, remember the first half they called 2 timeouts when their defense was on the field.
So now it's a 3rd and 9 for Buffalo. They can get the ball back. The Jets can with a stop here between 45-50 seconds. Taylor running. They bring him down short of the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup. Jets cannot stop the clock.
Tyrod Taylor is so explosive. He looks faster than Gillislee, who's extremely fast. Now the adventure here will be on the snap and the kick. The one thing that the Bills don't want to do, have Colton Schmidt kick this ball into the end zone. He'd like to have it die down inside the 10-yard line and give the Jets that much longer of a field to try to get back into the end zone.
Buffalo calls a timeout, stops the clock with 55 seconds remaining. Snapper is Garrison Sanborn for Buffalo. Return man for the Jets is Jeremy Curley. Trying to stay loose around the 13-yard line.
Well, your chances of having a long return by Curley probably aren't as good as trying to go after and trying to block this punt, but it appears that the Jets are trying to set up for the return.
Colton Schmidt. High punt. Curley gets under it. He's got it at the 11. Curley caught down short of the 20-yard line. Pittsburgh is in control in Cleveland. They've got a 28-12 lead. A Steelers win and a Jets loss, and Pittsburgh is in the postseason. The Jets have 44 seconds left, no timeouts, and they take over at their own 18.
Well, if you're Buffalo, you've got to double team Brandon Marshall and take your chances with Eric Decker. Both are going to line up on the same side of the field in this formation.
Out of the gun, Fitzpatrick steps up, trying to run, slow down, makes a move. Remember, no timeouts, clock is moving. We're down to 34 seconds left. Jets trying to get lined up quickly here, under 30 seconds now. Fitzpatrick will try the deep ball. Bobbled and knocked away! Kenvrell Tompkins had a clear path if he secured it.
Well, it's Mario Butler again coming over and dislodging the ball from Tompkins. If Tompkins can hang on to it or at least catch it on the rebound, he scores. Great play by Mario Butler, who's had his ups and downs today.
17 seconds left. The Jets in desperation mode. Fitzpatrick. Picked off. It's over. A.J. Tarpley. A painful ending to the Jets season in Orchard Park. Rex Ryan and the Bills get the win. The Jets have been trying to get rid of the same old Jets stigma, but this result will sting. Three interceptions for Ryan Fitzpatrick, his best season in his 11 years in the NFL, but he comes back to Buffalo. And the flashbacks will live with him for many years.
Just too many mistakes made by the entire Jets team today. Not worthy of a playoff contender.
The Jets were trying to get into the playoffs for the first time since 2010. A 5-game winning streak put them in a position to control their own destiny. But a loss in Buffalo, and the Jets fall short of the postseason. They finished 10-6. The Bills wrap up the season 8-8. Rex Ryan sweeps his former team with a playoff berth at stake. The Jets unable to get it done. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a minute away from clinching the wild card berth in the AFC.
And give the Bills a lot of credit for fighting hard the entire day. Took advantage of the weather conditions and the Jets' mistakes to pull off this upset.
(22-17). The Bills over the Jets. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from Orchard Park. Coming up next, game 2 of our doubleheader. The Chargers at the Broncos, or the Rams at the Niners. NFL Today update coming up. This is the NFL on CBS.